Alright guys, welcome back to part 4 of my homemade barbecue sauce series. Tonight we're going to be doing a South Carolina mustard sauce. So the big difference between a couple of the other sauces I did, the Memphis and Kansas City sauces compared to a traditional Carolina mustard sauce, is that mustard is going to be the base of this sauce instead of tomato, instead of ketchup or tomato paste. And then you're going to have sugar. In this recipe I've got brown sugar and regular sugar that's going to give it its sweetness instead of molasses and honey that you might see in the Kansas City style sauces. So this sauce is fairly straightforward. Mustard based sauces go really well on pork. That's probably what they're most commonly used on. And I'm just going to walk you through the ingredients here. And we're going to be simmering the sauce for about 30 minutes. One thing I did want to point out is you can tweak these mustard sauces out with, you can add molasses. And you can add a few other ingredients that you would typically see in sauces from the Midwest and Texas, places like that. But you know, people just kind of, as those different areas kind of developed, just different flavors in the sauces started to come about. But this is a traditional South Carolina style sauce, and as you move up into North Carolina and then start moving west, you start seeing more of the sweeter ingredients like molasses and honey coming into them to sweeten them up and to thicken them up, and the tomato based sauces. So we'll go ahead and get right to it. Oh, walk you through the ingredients. So we've got a cup of mustard right here. We've got a 1/4 cup of brown sugar and a 1/4 cup of just regular sugar right here. This is 3/4 a cup of apple cider vinegar. That is a 1/2 cup of water. A little bit of cayenne here. You don't have to use that, but it just gives it a little bit of a kick. That's about a 1/4 teaspoon. This is 1 teaspoon of both pepper and salt. Then we've got, this is 2 teaspoons of onion powder, 2 teaspoons of garlic powder, 2 teaspoons of dry mustard powder, and then we've got a tablespoon of chili powder. One thing I wanted to point out is you can mess around with how much sugar you put into this sauce. Some people, you know, a lot of folks from the, you know, the Carolina area like the sauce to have a lot of tangy bite on it, so they don't use as much sugar. But then other people like it to be more of a sweeter mustard sauce, and so I like to just go a little bit heavier on the sauce. So you just kind of play around with it. But then things like the cayenne and the chili powder will give it kind of that a little bit of kick on the back end. So I'm just going to go ahead and throw all these things into this bowl. So we got the chili powder, mustard powder, garlic powder, onion powder, cayenne, salt and pepper, sugar, brown sugar, and we'll get the water in here, the apple cider vinegar, and then get the mustard in here. And all I'm going to do is go ahead and whisk this up real quick and let you see what the color looks like. This recipe, you know, just I love apple cider vinegar, and so that combined with the mustard and then all the different spices with that little bit of a sweet back end on it. I mean, it is just, for pulled pork, I mean, to me, this is my favorite type of sauce for pulled pork. I mean, it's generally kind of my go-to sauce. So here you go, let me grab the camera. So there you go, that's what it looks like right there. Just got a really nice, just golden hue to it with all the different seasoning in there. So we're going to throw that in the pan, let it simmer for about 30 minutes, and then I'll show you what it looks like when it's all done. Alright, it's been just 20 minutes and this sauce is thickened up nicely. So we're going to go ahead and pull it off the heat. I did about a half batch. A lot of times I'll do a good bit more than this, but I'm so stocked full of sauces right now in my fridge I didn't want to do too much. But let me go ahead and pull the camera over so you can kind of see that just real nice just texture in that sauce. See how it got nice and thick like that? Just got a really nice smell coming off of it. Let's go ahead and get it in this mason jar. And doesn't take a whole lot of this mustard sauce when you're serving it with some pork, because it's just got so much flavor to it that you really just need to put a little bit on your pulled pork sandwich or your sliced pork loin, whatever it may be. So a little bit goes a long way. So try to get it in the light there. So again, that's what we ended up with. It's just got a, hopefully you guys can see that okay. It's just got a really nice golden color with some you can see the spices in there nice and thick, and this sauce is just going to be perfect on some pulled pork. So I appreciate you guys watching, and then we'll pick back up with part 5 in a couple days. I'm going to be doing a raspberry barbecue sauce, so it's really good. So we'll see you guys then.